child's environment. Those are the ingredients, the building blocks of development. If we skip those, it's like trying to build a mighty house on a foundation that is not there. And so one of the messages I want to leave here is whatever we do as you come to the end of your data gathering, think not just about community-wide things that we can do with support, but think of how to get some of that support to the level where it is most needed. Supporting parents to really raise children, not with our values, but with some consensually understood sort of approaches that help children to develop. Now, at this point, I'm going to pause because I also came in with answers to some questions that that had been sent to me last Friday. They have to do with issues such as risk factors, that are particularly germane to children in the birth to 3 age range. I could address them now, or maybe make them as part of the question and answer segment, so I don't take too much of the time. But thank you very much, and I will pause and get some questions so that we can interact. And you have to forgive me for being preachy. I told you I'm an advocate and a researcher. So when I present even research, my advocacy self comes through so much, and I beg for your forgiveness.
Two, if I may. The first is I'd like to suggest a change in the title of the report and insert the words at the beginning, in Duval County. I think that helps focus our thinking as well as when the reader picks it up, he knows we're talking about this place, because that's all going to affect anyway. My question to the good professor is, I'm an indexer kind of guy. What countries have you seen where it has worked?
And I'm taking it to be where it has worked to be a whole host of things. I have some charts. Let me probably go to some of those charts that I.
Well, not necessarily what's worked, but where are leading as a result of intervention by the state.
Let me take a few steps back. In terms of policy-wide, I do think that when you look at the world, as a map, in terms of what different nations do with children, we see some drastic differences in terms of how policies are approached, in terms of how we use the research that we know. So, for example, the U.S. is number 1 in the production of developmental science. So we are number 1. Everywhere I go, there's in other words, Australia, New Zealand, Germany, they use our science. However, we're not necessarily number 1 in how we use that science to shape policy. So that's one difference. Now, what do I mean by that? I think when you go to other parts of the world, the Scandinavian countries are the ones that are used very, very often. The Scandinavian countries have policies that are so child and family friendly that they infuse a lot of their resources into taking care of children and families. And of course, in those countries, they pay very high taxes. So before I recommend it, I need to put it out. But they pay those taxes knowing that the taxes come to them in all